What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new football video, and today's topic is Jose Mourinho and Manchester United. What do you think about their demise? Of course I'm laughing here, you know that I'm a big Liverpool fan, so watching Manchester United struggle, watching them lose 2 of the first 3 games is glorious to me. I'm sorry to any Man United fans that are watching, and I'm especially looking at Man United fans leaving a comment on this video saying, like, what is your honest opinion on Mourinho's tenure so far at Manchester United? Because I think you guys, the Man United fans, really expected a lot more from Jose Mourinho. If anybody would have asked the Man United fans when he was appointed, they honestly thought that they would dominate the Premier League with the amount of money that Mourinho was able to spend at Man United. He spent close to like 350 million pounds, and the Man United side looks like another 200 million pounds investment away from challenging for the title. And that is absolutely incredible, and people are pulling out all kinds of excuses on Jose Mourinho, like he isn't backed by the board. But I find that absolutely ridiculous and mind-blowing. Like how can you struggle so much with players worth a combined 350 million? How can you struggle with such a defense where Mourinho himself spent 70 million combined on Lindelof and Bailly? And I just can't understand, like, Mourinho I think is way past it. I think he was at his peak when he first came into England as the special one, as he called himself, and he took the Premier League by storm. He won 2 Premier League titles in a row in his first 2 seasons, playing absolutely brilliant, scintillating football. But then, you know, I think at Real Madrid it's all when the wheels came off, as they are saying in England, that you know, Mourinho really lost it. Maybe he got fed up of the football and the politics, but something broke inside Mourinho, and he is not that like cheerful, joyful, highly energetic Mourinho that he was when he first came to England. Like, watch his interviews, just his press conferences from way back when he was the Chelsea manager for the first time. You kind of see like a different man. He looks like really a broken man nowadays. He's still living out of a hotel. He still hasn't moved into a house in Manchester after like being their manager for more than 2 seasons. I find that really baffling. He's away from his family. I think his family is in London. But let's not talk about Mourinho's personal life. This video is not about that. But it maybe is showing that he's not like fully 100% committed to the Man United cause. I wanted to bring this up because Mourinho actually said, speaking to Sky Sports, and I quote him, "I think Liverpool are trying to buy the title. But when I say buying, I mean buying with an amazing investment. Chelsea has a fantastic squad, City has a fantastic squad too." And Mourinho said these words when Man United were still trying to sign players. But, you know, apparently Woodward didn't back him with the money. And Mourinho wanted either Toby Alderweireld or Harry Maguire, but the Man United board weren't willing to give him another like 50-60 million pounds to spend on another centre-back. And I fully agree with them, because they already had like Lindelof and Bailly. They spent a combined 70-75 million on the 2 of them, and Mourinho has to make it work. That's why you are the manager. You have to actually improve the players. And if you take a look at the other Premier League managers like Pep Guardiola, Pochettino, Jurgen Klopp, they all play progressive, aggressive, attacking football with a lot of flair. And that used to be actually the Man United way. But Man United sacrificed their tradition for the hope of instant success, and that's what Mourinho has always been about, instant success. He's not building for the future, He always signs players for the here, for the now. Look at the Alexis Sanchez transfer. Probably Alexis Sanchez is past his best. He's like 29 years old. He signed for a big wage and huge signing on fee from Arsenal, and he has been a shadow of himself. And Mourinho, I think his tactics got really outdated in the past like 3, 4, 5 years. And every time, you know, he is at the club in the third season, he either quits the club or gets sacked. And guess what? This is the third season for Manchester United, and he might get sacked or might quit. Well, it looks like the Man United board is sticking with Mourinho. They just came out and said that they have full confidence that Mourinho will turn this around. And I think it's too early to sack him. I think they should keep Mourinho at Man United for the next 2 or 3 seasons and just see how low he can take Manchester United. But I just wanted to make this video to actually analyze the situation, and I think from the point of view of a relative neutral, I think Mourinho should be doing an awful lot better with these players than he is doing. Because ask yourself the question and be truthful. If Pep Guardiola or Pochettino or Jurgen Klopp were in charge of the same Manchester United squad with the exact same players and the exact same scenario, would they do better than Mourinho does right now? And I think they would do miles better. I think they would do miles better. I mean, Mourinho is restricting the players at Man United so much. Martial, Rashford, you know, even Alexis Sanchez, they look like a shadow of the players that they were you know, before Mourinho came in. And apart from Marcus Rashford, he's still a very young player, but you get my point. Martial looked like an absolutely incredible talent, and Mourinho signed Sanchez to play in the exact same position that Martial usually does, and Martial got really upset and really fed up with Mourinho, I think. And it was just such a strange thing that Mourinho even criticized Martial for going back home to actually witness his own child's birth. I still can't wrap my head around that, like what is wrong with Mourinho and his attitude towards his players. And I think if Mourinho doesn't change his ways, and can you change after being so many years in football? The best managers can adapt to new tactics, new waves of you know, football changing. It's always changing, it's constantly evolving and progressing, and I think Mourinho is not. Mourinho is still set in the way of doing anything just to get a result. And at Man United, I'm pretty sure that it's the same at Real Madrid, it's the same at Barcelona, it's the same at almost all of the big, like truly big clubs, that winning is not enough. You have to play the right kind of football. And Man United fans are sick and tired of watching the pretty boring football that Mourinho serves. And actually, I watched the Manchester United-Tottenham game, and Man United played nothing like they usually play under Jose Mourinho. And maybe Jose Mourinho is trying to change his ways, because at you know, against Tottenham in the first half, Man United played aggressive, they played very attacking, they were high pressing the Tottenham backline, which the Tottenham defenders didn't really like at all, and they made a lot of mistakes. And Lukaku really should have buried that chance where he went past Hugo Lloris and puts it wide of the open empty net. And I think on another day Man United scored 2 goals, and it's a completely different story. But still, defensively they are so suspect, and that's not usual. Very unusual of a Mourinho team to concede 3 goals. But to concede 3 goals in 2 games in a row is virtually unheard of. So the wheels are definitely falling off of Man United. I'm loving it as a Liverpool fan. I still feel that Mourinho can turn it around, but he can't just hide behind the excuses of not being backed in the transfer market enough, because he spent so much money. If you look at the net spend, Manchester United should be comfortably like being a very close second to Manchester City in the Premier League, and they are miles away. Even though, yes, they finished second last season, they were 19 points away from Manchester City. That's 6 defeats plus a draw. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of points. But maybe last season is not the best example, because Manchester City were just so much better than everybody else basically in the Premier League. But let's watch what happens this season. But it looks like Manchester United will struggle again to challenge for the title in the Premier League. They could still put a good run together. They have the players to do so. But it looks like that some players are not putting like their all, their utmost into all the games. They lack pressure, they lack the fire, and they lack the intensity that is required to win a lot of games in the Premier League. Do they lack the quality? I don't think so. They just lack a manager who is setting up a team to utilize all their strengths, and that's the major problem with Manchester United, in my opinion, that Mourinho is restricting the players and they are not really allowed to fully express themselves, because they always have to think about defending and they have to think about tracking back, and the real true flair players don't really like to do that. So yeah, let me know what you think about this. Feel free to disagree with me in the comments below, but let me know why do you disagree with me. I would love to hear from you guys, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later guys. Goodbye.